Hi, everybody. Janet Eichhorst here. Today, I want to talk about new normals. That's one way of saying it. And I'm going to put out a bunch of different words to describe this so you can see if you can relate. And this channel is all about empowerment and helping you find ways to use that pure essence that you are in very practical ways and have a better time of it here. So this idea of new normal, when there when we are in times of huge change, it can be a little bit challenging to navigate them. And I noticed the other day there was a feeling, I call it uncomfortability, and it was a form of exhaustion. And it's a form of exhaustion that I wasn't used to. I knew like my old version of what that felt like. And for me, what I equate that with, I mean, sometimes it's just the body, mind, spirit. I'm tired and I need rest. And there's other times where there's so much changing that it takes a bit for me to kind of catch up with myself and keep up with everything that's happening, all the stimulation, right? All the internal changes, all the external changes, all of it. So there was this sensation of exhaustion that I can't say I particularly liked. I've talked a lot about sensation in the past, how we have judged sensations. I like this one better than I like this one. And because I couldn't deal with sensations, especially a long time ago, I stuffed them, right? They were too intense that I could have imploded or exploded if I felt them fully. So in my creativity, right, I stuffed them somewhere. And so there's those sensations where they will come up and they're not kind of due to present circumstances, they're more of a release. And then there's the sensations where it's a response to what's currently happening, a shift in the energetic field, an underground volcano exploding, right? Earthquakes. Some of us can feel those in our bodies very consciously. It's sort of like for those that don't think they're too sensitive. I mean, growing up, even people would talk about full moons and how people would get a little cray cray during full moons because we are in this field of this planetary consciousness and we feel and sense those even if it's not consciously. So for me, there was this level of exhaustion, and I thought it was just like a one off thing, right? And what I discovered was it kept happening. And I don't know that I can really describe it, but it had a full on sensational difference internally. And what I want to invite and encourage you personally to do is to deepen your awareness and your level of neutrality around sensations that we have. Now, sometimes sensations might be such that we really could use a sort of medical intervention, right? If I had a heart attack, I'm pretty sure I would go to the hospital, right? I think that I would because that's how I would be best physically supported in that moment. There's a lot of other sensations where, even speaking of hearts, I feel my heart palpating. Whoa. Whew. Okay, the energy's shifting here. So let's just take this moment here as I put my hand on my heart, one hand on my sacred heart and one on my belly, and let's just breathe. There's a lot of energetics here, a lot of newness, I want to say. And I would love for you to use these pure, organic, energetic frequencies, vibrations of newness in the best possible way. So let's just calibrate. These are intentions that you can put out. Calibrate, drop in, align. All the levels and aspects of you align in holy harmony. Whew, and that includes your spine. There's been a lot of activity in the spine lately. So just intend that your spine aligns, radiates, recalibrates, adjusts so that you are able to use these new frequencies that are available to us now in the best possible way for vitality, wholeness, wellness, clarity, and pure presence. There we go. And see if, like, here, what I'm feeling is the whole shoulder structure, including like the ribs, the scapula, with your spine in the center there. Whew, and that goes in your whole toroidal field, the whole field around you. Just let that upgrade, is one way of saying it. There we go. We might feel this in the back of your neck. Oh, there's some releasing here happening. Oh. And use your breath to circulate that pure, organic life force energy, God essence. There we go. All right, so back to this level of uncomfortability and what the temptation is, palpitations in the heart, odd sensations. The temptation is to make it wrong. And what I would encourage you to do is be present to it with that level of neutrality. And how the heck do you do that? It's what we just did. That's one way. Some people have movement exercises. Some people listen to meditation. Some people take a walk. What are your favorite ways, even just to be out in nature, letting the sun hit your face, breathing the flowers, hugging a tree, noticing how beautiful your beloved pet is. I got to watch my dog just, oh gosh, romp in the grass and play with the ball and exuding such jubilance, happiness, and joy. So, what's your way? When we get that level of connectedness, that level of presence is here. It's always here. And it's more just like aligning and sometimes upgrading and sometimes healing. And sometimes it feels like soul retrievals. There's parts of us that we are calling back here. Greater accessibility to our true, pure, organic essence. And with that comes a great big no to any frequencies, energetics, patterns that are not in alignment with how we want to live, how we're designed, anything that's not unconditionally love-based. So that is how we do it, be it, experience it, that level of neutrality. Woo, there we go. You might feel like your head is kind of being pulled up right here. Let yourself align. So, for those of you listening, above your crown, you might feel like there's a giant string pulling up your crown. We are connected to the heart of the heavens, and we are connected to our beloved Gaia. And we are heaven on earth, literally. It's so beautiful. So, try not to make anything wrong, is the message here. Things are changing very rapidly, yes. Take whatever moments you need to be with you. And whatever you need to kind of discover what your new normal is. I mean, this new level of exhaustion that I'm feeling, I was like, "Oh," it finally occurred to me, "This just might be new for this phase of evolution that I'm going through." And that helped. I was like, "Oh." And there was a level of acceptance there. I'm not saying that's how it's gonna be because I really don't know. And if it is, I can be okay with that. I can still navigate the things that I need to navigate in my life. I can live in the way that I need to live. I can care for my body in a different way if it needs to be cared for in a different way. And when we're on fast evolutionary tracks, this is so important. And the more that we can give ourselves time in that presence, in that stillness, in that quantum field of union with our source, the more quickly, easily, efficiently things shift. And those, we call them timeline jumps or major reality shifts, right? This is what's possible. And there's so much ease, grace, and love available. It's extraordinary. And even when I have those levels of uncomfortability, which I suspect I will still have, I mean, my body, I experience great change in it. And there's greater range of motion, greater flexibility, greater strength, and really more embodiment, which means, wow, the things I know, the clarity I have, even if there's periods of uncomfortability. It may change the way that I operate and the way I navigate my day because the more kind and loving that we can be with ourselves, the better. And I just want to kind of give an example of living in the unknown. And this is like hot off the press for me. Yesterday was a pretty, I don't want to say it. It was a very full day. I'll say it that way, where there was one thing after another thing after another thing. And it wasn't kind of planned out that way, but what was asking for my attention and the way I was engaging with things was tighter than I thought when I woke up yesterday morning. And part of that included my washing machine. I was doing a little wash and I go out there because the wash should be done. And I look at it and the little dial is still going, and there's still water in the tub. And it had gone all the way on to the next cycle or next type of wash cycle, which it shouldn't have done, right? And I was like, oh no. And so there was this whole process with what do I do? My washing machine, let me call, maintenance and, see what I can work out because I really didn't want to like scoop my clothes up and put them in a basket and take them to the neighbors or the laundromat or whatever. So I tried some different things to get it to work, and that wasn't happening. So I let it rest for a while. And when I came back, sure enough, I was able to just, and it just emptied. And it didn't go through the rinse cycle. So I still had like soap and stuff. So that was a whole process of deciding which neighbor I could ask to use their washing machine. And that was really beautiful because I have a community here, right? I have fostered a community here with some beautiful people. And it's been quite a surprise because this is the first time I've been in an apartment complex in a very long time. And it's been way better than expected. And that's been quite delightful, actually. So, anyway, I got that worked out with a washing machine. And then the neighbor came, or the maintenance man came today, and I was on a call, so I couldn't really talk with him very much, but gave him the Cliff Notes version, and he could not recreate the problem. The machine was working just beautifully for him. And I was like, huh, all right, universe. So I have this washing machine that definitely had a big issue yesterday, right? It would not rinse my clothes. They needed to soak a little longer, right? I got them to drain, and then I got to reach out to my community to get them really clean. And today I put a load of wash through, and guess what? It worked. So I am in this state of, I wonder if my washing machine is going to continue to work, or I wonder if it's going to do that thing again, right? And another level of conscious unknown. My washing machine could go out at any time, right? Ever. I mean, whatever, just on any normal day. Well, now I have some history that it went out. And so there's a different level of unknown. And I can be okay with that. I know it's not a big deal. It's a freaking washing machine, right? And I've got plenty of options and great neighbors. But it's a metaphor, and it's a metaphor for how I'm going to navigate my life, right? And how much unknown, oopsie, sorry, my alarm was going off, how much unknown there really is. There's a ton of it. And we don't know how things in these evolutionary shifts that we're having right now, huge ones, and they're not going to slow down. Well, that's my feeling about it. And I keep joking because ever since I started doing these podcasts, and actually my whole life, I've been on this evolutionary journey, and I can feel the shifts that are happening, right? In me, in society, in the collective, right? And I work consciously with them. That's some of the grid work that I do, working with the earth and all that, and the energetics of the cosmos, right? I mean, that's a big deal for me. So unknown, yeah, we have it. And I have such confidence. How do you feel? How is your life going to unfold? Do you have that level of presence, faith? Do you know deep inside that you got this? That whatever new normal presents for you, whatever circumstance presents for you, that you will be able to navigate it with that level of presence that's within you. Even if it gets messy, that's the possibility. And that is what I say faith is, knowing everything's okay. And most of us have multiple examples in our lives where we have shown up stellarly, right? And navigated impossible situations. And the way that I've done that is sometimes not even consciously, but I kind of fall into that level of faith. I have it. A deep belief that it's all going to work out, whether it's to my egotistical, small mind, small human desire or not. There's something big happening now on our planet. And we, by our focus and by our choice in how we navigate it, play a huge part in this. What stories am I telling myself? We get to examine the beliefs that cause us misery. I mean, I could create a story right now about my washing machine going out at the most unopportune time, and it just might cooperate in that, right? If I hold that strongly enough, a lot of times that's exactly what happens, right? And I don't believe that at all. I know in my heart of hearts, there's a lot of energy right now, so just be with yourself and allow whatever faith is to you, that knowingness, that presence, that God consciousness, to have greater access to it, to know that it's here. Just focus on that for a few minutes here. This is such a perfect way for us to end our time together. There we go. You are extraordinary. You can't not be, because you are source. Source moves through you as you. That's your essence. pure and true. Beautiful. Okay, we've hit our 20 minutes. Please please share if this has helped you at all. And I don't usually talk about this very much, but I do offer personal sessions. So if you could use some assistance in navigating your world, reach out. We can have a conversation about it. There's so many ways that you can experience more of your true essence and be that here. Shifts everything. Everything is so powerful. All right. Much love, many blessings. Till next time. Bye bye.